Hello, welcome to Driving Mom. My name is Michael. Today we are talking about a few things. We're not going to do an ensemble piece necessarily. We're just going to talk about a few events that I've pseudo captured, but there's been some strides with my driver development recently that I want to talk about. So if you're not following me on Instagram, the Driving Mod on Instagram, it's been an interesting month, I should say. So on 418, there was a track day I went to with Race on Rails. We were doing a program for some driver training. I've been doing some stuff with them, producing my friend Nick. In March, we did Pacific Raceways, and we should cover that in that video. And did another one a month later on 418. That was kind of interesting. So I was like preparing the car. This is all with the NC Miata. Preparing the car, doing a few things with it. I got new tires. I got some new Bridgestone RE71 RSs. And that whole tire thing has been just oh my gosh. Started with Falcons, too wide, didn't fit. Even my Bridgestones sort of fit. Between 418 and this last weekend, it is May 13th, we hit some pretty huge strides as far as my driver development is concerned. There was a lot of aha moments, which is I haven't had an aha moment in a couple years, and there's a reason why many reasons I always say this. There's many reasons why this channel is called the Driving Mod, and not the Driving Pro or anything like that. So I just like this shirt is very cheeky. So going back a little bit, so the practice day was very much one step forward, two steps back. There was a lot of pressure to do well. So I've been doing a lot of sim racing, not as much as probably should, but I'm doing a bunch of sim racing since I got the thing built in December. And just driving one car, one track, pretty much all whole time. So there's updated Ridge track I've been using and doing in just driving a stock NC and see how fast I can get. And I wasn't even steadily getting faster. Like in March, I put a race seat in. I kind of hit some strides there with the race seat. And then I got around a 202. And I kind of had it in my mind, or sorry, a 204 and in the sim. I had it in my mind that if I get a 204, I could get like a 202 or something like that in the car. And then just before the event, I did a bunch of just before the 418 practice event, I was doing a bunch of practicing with the NC and got like I finally got a 201 in a stock NC on the sim at the Ridge. And so I had it in my mind that, well, I should just be able to get a 2-second, right? So to not put too much pressure on me, I ran timing, just put it in my glove box. Put my tablet in my glove box, and I ran, but I didn't run camera. I just didn't, and which I did because I got my PB for the day pretty much like my third lap out. Just pull it up here. It was a 202.46, like 10 o'clock in the morning. 202.46. Literally had 3 laps that session because I was doing a check of the alignment. Thank you, Nick, for helping me out with that. And and just doing a couple other things, prep and stuff like that. I was just late. And I got there late. Everything was late, and it got 3 laps in, and the second lap was a 202.4. Didn't capture it on camera. Wish I had. And pretty much that rest of the day was slower and slower. It wasn't even that it was all that hot. It really wasn't. But I steadily was slower. So I did a total of 6 sessions that day, and yeah, I got like a 202.9 in the 11 o'clock session. But I went out. There's like a 203.1, 202.9, 205.3, 204.6. Now, these are pretty respectable times for NC1 Miata with just suspension to stock power. One thing I'm not doing a good job of is being kind to myself as far as racing is concerned. crux I was having was I was doing minute changes, suspension changes here and there, pressure changes, trying different things. I wasn't there mentally. And another thing that I was putting pressure on was I literally had my first lucky dog race of the season the next day, like on that Saturday. So the practice day was on Thursday. The lucky dog race was on that Saturday and that weekend, so Saturday and Sunday. I wanted to get sub 2 minute so that I can really excel on the day of the race. And I'm going to do a whole video on the day of that race because that was just a whole different kettle of fish. But we're talking about the event after because I'm really excited about it. So I am more excited about sharing good news than bad news because that is in the internet is it's all good news, never bad news, right? So I came into this event, this on-grid event on 511, kind of a little bit of a high. I made a bunch of strides, trying a few different things, broke a bunch of habits, courtesy of the drivers, the Lucky Dog drivers. They showed me a different way of doing things. I was able to apply what I know of the track and my experience to that to be much faster than I could have been. And so I was really excited to come to this event, apply what I had learned, and attack the course. So this session, so 511, let's talk about that. So one thing I did for this practice session, for this next on-grid session, I did a couple things differently. I should have simmed. I didn't really. I just been tired of car, to be honest. I had an oil leak coming from my oil cooler. I got gaskets to fix that. Checked it the day after, and still had a leak. In fact, it's kind of worse. And decided to just go watch Netflix instead. I have friends that are a lot more enterprising on fixing their cars before race day than I am. I care about driving, less about wrenching. So I had that leak. I had removed the splitter. I did adjust it. So right now, so the splitter was kind of pitched upwards like this. So if this is the front, so the air is going this way. The splitter is pitched up this way. So the corners were right, but this front of it wasn't. And that was generating lift. It was slowing me down. It was making the car awkward in braking. And we were confident and proved correctly that the whale tail I absolutely love, my wife hates, and the splitter I absolutely love. Those things were slowing the car down, and with a Miata, you need to remove any kind of drag possible. So I removed the whale tail grudgingly. I removed the splitter grudgingly because if I run the splitter and don't have something in the back holding the back down, when I brake, the car's gonna, the rear end's if this is the rear end, it's gonna shimmy, right? It's just gonna go, you know. Should have a car model. Why don't I have a car model? I don't have a car model. So I took both of those things off and it's like, all right, let's see how much more miles per hour I could get. The difference was staggering. So around 3 to 7 miles per hour faster in any of the front straights. So it was like where I could barely break 100, I was hitting 100, 107, 110. My peak time, my peak speed was 110. So really awesome thing to have. As you know, sacrifice looks and aesthetics. The reason why I bought the car was really because it had this two-tone look with the hardtop that was black. They had the spoiler that was black and the splitter. It looked like it was ready to rumble. More than the NC can look a little bit soft, like the NDs looks like a really just it's happier but also like more serious car. It's very weird. It's cooler. It's more the ND's more aesthetically pleasing. The NC1 I didn't buy for aesthetics. I bought it because it was cheap and had everything I wanted on it that I would do otherwise that I wouldn't have to pay premium for. So, because if you want to get into racing, always buy someone else's car. So they always say don't buy someone else's project, but if you want to go tracking, better to do that. In any case, I removed the pressure from the race day. I got one in one out of the Lucky Dog race. This one was to say, okay, can I be fast in my own car? And so took a bunch of friends, had a great time. Tried to get my Casey, my drifting buddy, into grip driving. He had this goal of we get Girl Scouts cookies if we could scare him. Well, I wasn't successful, but he was impressed with the driving at least. So it was good. And so then for the 5 sessions, I just had passengers. But what was interesting was I was steadily getting faster with each passenger. which shouldn't be possible because it was getting hotter. And pretty sure, I mean, I didn't top off my oil. I really probably should have. Car ran great. It didn't care. Tires were doing fine. I need another wheel liner, wheel fender liner. Now it's the right side that is gone. This has disappeared. But so I was, having fun driving, with friends and everything, just really relaxed. And on the fifth one, I decided, I'm going to go solo this time. Like I should be usually going. So I decided I wanted to go solo, and holy crap, Batman. So we're going to go into, we'll do a deep dive. All right, going through the corkscrew here, going down, feeling really good. So I'm tacking it a little bit differently, and trying to go wide. I've been trying to do different experiments on the corkscrew to see if I can, how well I can maintain speed. The new AWR engine mounts are fantastic. I was struggling with shifting at the bottom of that corkscrew. So I'm just hamming on the throttle. Yeah, so that's my outlap 213.89. Going into it, about 100 miles an hour, fifth gear. I hit about 110. A little bit of braking here, but it's just a little bit of tap, going to fourth, shifting quickly into third, really trying to get that edge in here. A lot more quick hands. Interesting here was at the top of this corkscrew, the revs go high, so I just drop it in the fourth. Probably suboptimal, but I'm just watching that time just slowly recede. And then coming into the carousel here, going straight on, aiming for those two trees, and the car naturally wants to dive the inside, when I probably want to go outside and then in, but the car doesn't want to do that. It just wants to turn in. That may be a tow issue to the alignment, but that's something I'll need to check later. Add that to my list. I really need to get a harness. Oh my gosh. It's just 3-point with a race bucket. Suboptimal, but it's better than nothing because the seats are they have no bolstering otherwise. So going through here, entering the thumb, hard, trying to brake less, going in the inside a little bit, tackling. I could probably brake later, enter that corner soon, brake later into that corner. And then there's a trail braking right here going into that last corner. I forget what turn it is. I really should know the turn numbers. And feeling really, really good, relaxed. Previous sessions I was listening to music, and that really just got me in the zone. I generally, because I'm recording, I don't want to get YouTubed or anything for copyright. But yeah, so that I haven't even seen the 201 on my display as I'm going through the corkscrew here. But I'm just experimenting, not too much drum on the wheel, just kind of just about this much, and then just going into it. And I shift into fourth. I look at the time. I'm like, are you kidding me? And then super excited, 201.36. So just there's something to be said about having your timing gear inside your glove box so you don't see it. But then you don't necessarily know if you're trying to prove what's going on. So I'm attacking this perfectly. I hit the 1 and 2 just right. The revs climb up at the top of the apex. They peter out because the car is lifting, and I just drop into fourth and just hug this corner as tight as I can, and go through it. So aim for the two trees up ahead. Now again, I should be going inside. I should be taking this really, really wide. I'm not. I'm just hugging the corner. However, my cornering speed's around 60 to 65 miles an hour. I could probably do it faster, but the tires really want to spill out, and it's really, really hot. But I'm getting what I want out of the car. Just a little bit of management of the wheel. Just tilted like this, trying to hold on onto those G's. Going up, going into the past the flag station, and entering the thumb. So going in, curving around the cones a little bit, braking early again because I just don't want to fly off. I don't want to scrub the session. I hate going off. And so again, that's part in the thumb where I can brake a lot later, probably a second later, and gain more speed. Another thing I'm doing differently here, especially because this is my fastest lap actually, what I'm doing here is I'm just hitting the brakes. I'm just hitting the brake hard. Just really getting into it, really digging in. I was so annoyed with this Corvette, not because he was doing anything wrong, it was because I was on a flyer. Knew I was on a flyer, and he was there, and I had to see because he's faster. Nice guy. But he didn't slow me all that down. In fact, yeah, I saw 201.17 just a second ago. I was able to secure a 201.26. That was my fastest lap, so super happy about this. And generally, I would run out of talent at this moment and fly off the track. It happens. I get my super fast lap. I'm super excited. I forget how to drive a car. There you go. But I was just in the zone, just hitting it, just like, let's do it again. Let's do it again. And this is just very unbecoming of me. This is not usual, right? So yeah, going into it, kind of same doing a little bit of different experimentation. Really trying to, if I'm gonna brake, I'm gonna brake hard, and if I'm gonna brake light, don't brake at all. Either let off, coast, do something else. Stay on the gas. Just, you know, send it. So going through bottom half of the course, I just destroyed my fender liners going through here. In those high Gs, going around. Probably could have took that tighter, but another thing I'm practicing is really focusing on less steering input, because the more steering, the less you're accelerating. So, and it matters with Miata. Everything matters in Miata. So this one I took a little bit wider, and now so I could hit this entry cone, so it was a lot tighter there. So a bit slower, but the car wanted to turn easier, if that makes any sense. Going through, fourth gear, you know, just punching it, and then, yeah, third to second, really good heel toes. Oh, we're not doing that one up. We're not doing squeaky toys. All right, going through the corkscrew here. We got 201 on the docket again. So yeah, I mean, this is just like, not only like the practice day, yeah, I got a 202 for something, but you know, this is a second faster, it's a whole second faster with the splitter. Yeah, just like 2029, like this is fantastic. So with the splitter, like I do lose a little bit of, without the splitter I do lose a little bit of turn in. The rear end's a bit more playful, but I like it. Yeah, so this one I took out more outside. I took more outside. I felt more comfortable, but the car went inside. It just went further in. Apologize for listeners, any sound issues. The microphone came off the camera. So, just vibration. You know. But yeah, going through here, just feeling really, really good. Really just, I'm marveling at this consistency, but not thinking about it. Absolutely not thinking about it. Just cannot think about it. And experimenting with braking late, but yeah, the shifts are just, I'm shifting very, very quickly with no drama, and it's just been, yeah, like it's a lot of stuff. Like when the Lucky Dog race, I was watching the footage, and I was kind of shocked how fast I was shifting, like with the heel toe and everything. Speaking of heel toe, another thing I'm trying to break the habit of is I'm in the habit of, whenever I want to downshift, I want to heel toe, which means I'm pushing the brake. There's some places where you don't need to hit the brake. But I've gone that opposite way of like not being able to heel toe like a few years ago and fumbling feet to now at the point where I heel toe everything, which is great. So now I'm on my entry lap. So yeah, 201.64, feeling really good. Now I'm on my cool down. And you know, arm out, just, yeah. No, this is like a breakthrough day. This is just an absolute breakthrough, a day of getting out of my head, just focusing on car driving, the joy of driving, all that kind of stuff. So it's just like a huge milestone day. I don't know why my last session of the days are usually the best that I can do, and I think a lot of it is I'm tired. I generally have a headache, but because I'm tired and just kind of exhausted, I relax more. I'm just there just to enjoy the vibes. and I don't get it in my head. So I don't know how to do that for the beginning of an event where it's cooler and thus I should be faster. But that has been a theory that is proved true once again. So it was a short session, which is fine by me to save my tires and such. So like 6 laps. And literally just at my second lap, the car was feeling great. I was able to do a 201.3. And a 201.3 is within 1/10 of my sim time. So that's pretty crazy. If you're within 1 second to 1.5 seconds of your sim time, you're doing a good job. So this was within 1/10 of my sim time. And I didn't do it once. I did it four times. So kind of the development where the development is for me is I got to work on consistency, and I need to be fast, but I need to be consistent more. Especially if I want to continue doing Lucky Dog, and I do. So it's all about consistency, racing in a way that's not hurting the car, predictably, hitting each section appropriately and stuff. So yeah, so it's lap 2, 201.3. Lap 3, 201.2. So that was actually my fastest ones. Lap 3, 201.2. And 201.29 was the fourth, and then 201.6. So they were within 4/10 of each other in speed. And unanimously, like coming down the front straight, 110 miles an hour. Lap was 109.3, but I'll give it 110. The average speed was around 71 miles an hour, and I was shocked with how fast I was shifting, how confident I was with my shifting. The braking was on point. Going through the carousel, one of my goals was to try not to brake. I'm not there yet. That's why the car can do a 2 minute or maybe a high 159. It's the carousel. And turn 1, I need to be braver in turn 1, but I'll refine my braking, then I'll be good for turn 1, and then I just need to be braver for turn 2 and attack the carousel a little bit more effectively going around the big sweeper, and I'll be good. But I hit my target around 65 miles an hour going around it. Definitely for like driver development, like next steps here, I got to replace the rear main seal. So because I can't have an oil leak, because that oil and I put in that car is expensive. So I want to get that addressed. I got a bunch of heat wrap I need to there's like the DIA tape that goes around the transmission. I need to replace that. So there's a bunch of stuff I need to do there. I want to fix the hardtop. The hardtop is still broken. If it can't, I have a Miata that can't Miata, and that offends me. So it's very fun to go top down on their way to the racetrack in the morning. Dawn's beautiful. I fixed the oil leak, replaced the rear fender liner, I think I'm going to adjust the preload a little bit on the front suspension, because even at full stiff, in the compression zone after the carousel, like I'm going through fender liners. My tires were too tall. The solution is really to get skinnier tires. I'm running a 235/45. I need to get a 235/40. It's just the tires I want it's expensive right now, and I want to put more money in my M2 because I want to enjoy that car as well. So if all that stuff doesn't pan out and I don't get that stuff working before the next event, I'll just take the M2 to the track and unlearn what I have learned or something. Because the M2, I've done a bunch of stuff. I got new pedals for it. I got a new harness. I figured out how to get the harness to work by just Googling better. I got an exhaust on the way. With the new pedals, I could heel toe that car now, and that's a big deal because I'm running traction control off. And if I can't heel toe that car, I just really I'm not confident going to corners at 140 miles an hour because that car is fast. The way I drive it's much quicker going. So like the front straight of the Ridge, like Miata now tops at 110. The M2 is 145. It's a lot faster. I got to do things a lot quicker, and having the confidence to be able to heel toe going into into turn 2 is mega. But yeah, so that's where things are at. So thank you so much for riding with me. Really appreciate it. Like, subscribe, do all the things if you wish. Otherwise, got a couple more videos. We got a Lucky Dog video coming up. I may do the practice video. I also, if you guys are cool with it, I might just go through my backlog of videos and do videos on those. I have no shortage of content, technically. It's more of like, I don't do the intros, outros very much. It's mostly time, stress, whatever, because I'm easily stressed out. But yeah, so that's where things are at. Thanks so much for watching. Really appreciate it. And I will see you next race. Thanks.